My name is Vince Wolfram.
And I am Dylan Cardwell, and welcome to Big Talk,
where we take small talk to the next level across the worlds of sports, lifestyle, and everything else under the sun. Big Talk episode 2. We're back at it, but this time, the rollies up. This time we've got an extra special guest, very first guest.
Yes, special.
Yes, our first guest this week is a very well-known fella across the plains of Auburn University. If Auburn sports is on TV, he is probably leading the crowd roar.
He's there.
The three-time Jungle MVP, holding down the city like there's no place he'd rather be. Join us in welcoming our first guest on the Big Talk podcast, Mr. Michael Floyd.
Oh,
the
thank
man
y'all.
himself.
Thank
Floyd,
y'all.
dog.
Gosh, ooh, y'all are boosting my ego on this thing. Wow.
Floyd, dog.
Michael, we're happy you're here, my man.
I'm glad to be here.
Where do we start with you? Goodness, I mean, you got the keys to Auburn, basically. So
Literally.
yeah,
Keys to Auburn. Before we talk about that, I want to know, how did your Auburn fandom, begin? Take us from the start. Like, were you just born in Auburn? Or?
Oh, the start. First of all, Dylan Cardwell, big fan, man. Big fan. Can I have your autograph after the show? I would love to
I
have
need
it.
yours.
I got to take you all the way back to good old Brewton, Alabama, the birthplace of Michael Floyd, which happens to be the blueberry capital of the state of Alabama.
Didn't know that.
the more you know.
Hey, that's big talk right
The
there.
more- that is huge
That's
talk.
big talk right there.
Yeah.
That's
So if you
breakfast
love,
talk.
Yeah, that's right. If you love blueberries, you come on down to Brewton. We'll take care of you.
Blueberry guy.
I was raised by my mom and my TT, and my dad and my stepmom. They were in the Army, so they were traveling the globe, serving our great country. Shout out to them. But my mom was an Army fan. My dad is as Alabama as they come.
Ugh.
And every time I go to church, when I grew up in the church and growing up, they always said count your blessings, and that's one blessing I count every day. I'm not an Alabama fan.
Amen.
I am not an Alabama fan. So thank you, God, for that.
Amen.
So my mom raised me. She grew up watching Auburn, loving Auburn. I always tell people she didn't attend Auburn, but that did not mean she wasn't an Auburn woman. So that where I really started. So growing up, got to know more about the school, got to know more about the community, and just was blown away at it, and didn't even know if I was smart enough to get into Auburn. And I applied, and on February 14th, I got accepted into Auburn University, and Auburn University will forever be my Valentine because of that.
Where's that date tattooed?
That's
on your
right. It's somewhere. So that's where it started, because I can talk about that forever.
Michael, obviously you're so involved not only in the community but in athletics as well. Where did your love from sports come from? Did it come from being an Auburn fan?
It goes back down there to Brewton. As this shirt I have under this nice pullover, T.R. Miller High School, home of the T.R. Miller Tigers. My high school is home to the winningest football program in the state of Alabama.
Subtle flex.
So it is a subtle flex. 6 state championship, Hall of Fame coaches. T.R. Miller does it across the board in all sports. And I grew up, I played football in Pee Wee leagues, but I jokingly tell people all the time that my contract expired, so I didn't continue to play Little League sports. Playing sports was never my cup of tea, so I found other ways to get involved. So I became a manager, or the glorified word of a water boy. But water boy changes lives in sports, so I'm just saying. So I was the manager for our football team, our basketball team, girls and boys, our baseball team. And then I started helping with the track and field. Then I became the PA announcer for boys and girls basketball, for not volleyball. I did support volleyball, but for track and field and for baseball. So being the PA announcer for those sports and just helping out in those sports and traveling and being around all athletics, it just really was something that I found out that I wanted to be a part of every day. I figured that's how I would leave my mark on this world around me. Then I get to Auburn, and it's like, well, I just can't walk in and say, I'm going to be a manager for the football team, because there's a whole process that goes into being a manager for any sport on the campus of Auburn University. So I got involved with, just started showing up to games, being my authentic self, and it's taking me to great places.
Heck of a story.
I know, especially just coming from high school to jump right in and find your niche, not through an organization, not through this or that, but just you being you and showing your love for sports.
Yeah. I want to know, like, what was your first step on Auburn like? Like, going from an Auburn fan and going to an Auburn student, what was it like for you?
I cried. I cried. And not because I was happy, but because I cried because I was going to miss my mama. I was going to miss my mama. Yeah. I was a mama's boy. And I just remember the day when her and my TT got in that car and they pulled off. I thought I wasn't going to make it. I was like, oh my goodness, my chest started hurting, everything. But that was my first moment. But then once they left, once I got situated in and walked around campus, got to know where I would go, tried to navigate this big, tall place we call the Haley Center.
Me too. Every single day.
It's not amazing. It's just amazing.
Exactly. But just seeing how well I love this place and a place that I saw on TV, I'm here every day. And it was special to me because I'm a first-generation college student. My mom didn't go to college. She went straight into the workforce, and my dad went straight into the armed forces. So to be a first-generation student, it just, as the SEC says, it just means more. So it meant more to me. But I said, wow, I'm going to like it here. I feel like Annie. I think I'm going to like it here. Yeah. And the rest is history.
And history it was, man. You made history. Like, I got a question for you. Like, your involvement in the stadium and in the arenas is second to none. Like, I've seen you on TV, yelling at the refs, telling them to get it right, and then pulling that mask right back up. Tell us about that. Like, you're very passionate about, sports and your Auburn Tigers. What is that like for you? I know you have a big weight on your shoulders when it comes to the student section in the jungle. Yes. Tell us about your experience in the jungle.
Dylan, y'all don't make my job easy. Dylan, y'all don't make my job easy. You don't make it easy. You make it hard. I'll tell you why you make it hard. Because you lose, it's like, okay, I need people. They're going to show back up.
Zero remorse right now.
And then when you win, it's like, okay, I need to keep these people off the court. So, it's like, y'all don't make it easy at all.
No, it's a roller coaster.
Exactly, an extreme roller coaster. But I love it. Yeah. I love it. I love the thrills. I love the highs. I love the lows. That's what loving and believing in Auburn means. You're there for it all. Kind of got involved in jungle in my freshman year. Just showed up everywhere. Back then, I was lining up at 3 o'clock in the morning for an 11 a.m. tip. I don't know why I was doing that, but it paid off.
Retweet.
But man, I enjoyed it. I tell people all the time that I will absolutely run through a brick wall for Bruce Pearl. I would. I love me some Bruce Pearl. And I'm pretty sure we'll get into that later. But just kind of doing that. So when I got involved with the jungle, I was asked to come on as the VP. I did that for 3 years, which majority of my time here at Auburn. And just to see the jungle go to extreme heights, be talked about on ESPN, on all platforms, like Neville Arena is the place to be during basketball season. We hear about Duke, we hear about North Carolina, but when you start talking about those guys down there in Auburn on the plains, Bruce Pearl got this basketball program rocking, and the jungle has to stay rocking. So it's all about, as Bruce Pearl says, making history, and I believe the jungle has done that. We don't sell season tickets for basketball, so it's first come, first serve. The line is wrapped around the village dorm area every game, and then during our big weekends of athletics between gymnastics, women's basketball, and men's basketball, we have the camp out in Jungle Village, and that has just superseded my expectations every year it has happened. But that's Auburn being Auburn right there. So it's amazing, it's fun, it's a headache, but the leaders this year are going to do a phenomenal job.
You come in and it's COVID times.
Yes.
It's probably a tough start.
Yes.
If you want to jump into something like that, like you have, like you want to be at the sporting events, you want to be doing this, you want to be doing that. But then that puts a damper on it. How did you sort of navigate that and what you wanted to do in your love for sports?
COVID was terrible. It was hard. I only got, so that year they did like a lottery for basketball. And I only got chosen 2 times. And the 2 times I got chosen were the Kentucky game
It's a good game.
and the Alabama game.
We'll take that.
We lost the Alabama game, but we beat Kentucky. But I don't know why I was so eager to get there. it was just like it wasn't there. It was not there. And I don't care how loud you got, it just didn't feel the same. Yeah. And I mean, the only people getting that crowd hype was probably me, my friend Jacob Hillman, and a buzz cut freshman on the court wearing 44. He was the only one getting us. He was the only one.
It was like those games were like unreal to play in. Like you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah, you could.
I bet you could hear Bruce.
Right. You could hear Bruce.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
Astronauts could probably hear Bruce.
Yes, you could.
It was a place to be. I'm very grateful that the jungle's back rocking because we didn't have a jungle.
Right.
In my personal opinion, instead of a lottery, they should have had like a decibel tracker to make sure because we have fans that were watching the game and they're on their phones. We have a dedicated fan like Floyd who's going to be in the game, all 40 minutes. I would have gave you season tickets if I would have known you back then.
I mean, I was like, this is insane. Mm-hmm. I was upset. I'm like, oh my goodness, only so
2 games.
There's not a lot they could have done.
So like, I mean, I hope I'm not breaking any rules by saying this, but I love you, Auburn. But like, I was paying other students $20 to have their ticket, saying like, hey. Like, if you don't want to go, I'll go.
Yeah. You have that test? Yeah.
I'll go. Don't worry about that. Yeah. It's a funny story about that. So I was going to buy this the Georgia game when they came here. I was going to go, and I was going to buy this ticket from this young lady. I was paying probably $35 for it. And I'm about to get ready to send her my money, and then she sends me a message back saying, hey, this guy just offered me $400 for this ticket. I said, he can have it. And we lost that game. I said, well, I hope he had fun. I hope he had fun.
It was a bad game. I remember like it was yesterday. That's when KD came in and scored like 20 on us.
Just went off.
Yeah,
but there's an old saying that says, you don't know how good you have until it's gone. And I think that was when I realized, okay, what we have here at Auburn is special. And I hate it took a COVID year to make me realize that. So the following year, we got the jungle back in the stands. They were rewarded, and we all made history.
For somebody who doesn't know what the jungle is or have never seen Auburn, what's one word you would use to describe it?
Rowdy, rabid, intense, fearless, courageous. I mean,
as a player, what would you say? Feeling the jungle basically on your back for 40 minutes.
Electric, man. Golly,
because we know what kind of energy it gives you. We see it, like you light up.
Yeah.
It's just like running to the crowd, and they're all just like barking back at me and stuff. It's just like
hold on, we don't bark. We don't do that. That's
barking like
chirping.
They're chirping. They're
there
getting
you go.
lit.
There you
but
go.
Like that's just a feeling that you just can't describe. Like I'm very grateful for the Auburn fans. Very grateful for the jungle. Like without the jungle, Auburn wouldn't be Auburn. And both football and basketball, like the fans is what makes the sport so special. And that's why I'm grateful for every person that spends money coming to the games and spends their time coming to the games because it's a commitment. As you know, we have 9,000 seats. Like, you got to put in a pretty penny to get a ticket. And we're very appreciative of all the donors and all the fans that come each game because, we're playing for them. Like, at the end of the day, obviously we're playing to win championships, but we want to give them a good product. And we want to make sure that they know that we appreciate them and we appreciate Auburn for the opportunity to play basketball. But the student section, man, is just unmatched, one of one. And they're not even there for the lit games. They're there for our non-conference games.
The exhibitions.
Literally, our exhibition games are literally packed out. So,
yeah.
Like I said, you're not going to find that anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. And then also, to go off the top of that, we travel, man.
Mm-hmm.
We travel.
Indeed.
I went to Kentucky last year.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Mississippi State game.
Yes.
Where we won the
SEC regular season. Oh my goodness.
Tell us about your experience there.
Oh my goodness. First of all, going back to your point, just a big old thank you to the Auburn Tip-Off Club. They send buses every year to certain away games, and what they don't sell, they give to the rest of the jungle. And we have at least 25 jungle students at almost most of the away games because of the Tip-Off Club and their generosity. But that year, when Auburn won the SEC regular season title, they sent 2 buses of jungle students only, and they were packed. And so we left Auburn around about 1 o'clock and got to Starkville. Was able to go to Tiger Walk. And oh my goodness, it was so many people at the hotel.
It was nuts.
And then you get to the stadium, and there's even more people at the arena, at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And you get into that place. Mississippi State was kind of on that downward spiral, but they had fight in them. They had some fight in them.
They did.
But man, oh my god, they had their students semi-packed. I think they had like I don't know what they call them, but some part of Barstool showed up in the middle of the game.
So the storm chasers.
Yes, they showed up, and so it got even more rowdy. But those Auburn fans could be heard loud and clear.
I think we had more fans than Mississippi State did.
Yes.
And that's what won us the game with our
right.
fans. Like,
and I'm going to tell you a funny story. So where our seats were, there was this woman, a Mississippi State woman, and she kind of, so up top is general admission. So it's first come, first serve. Well, I was sitting in that seat, and he said, oh, well, I sit here every game, so you need to move. So I didn't, we was in Mississippi, so I moved. We moved.
No comment.
We moved. So I moved. And then about like the game got going. About 5 minutes of the game, she came up to me and said, "If you want these seats, you can have them. I pay too much money to sit up here around all these Auburn fans, so I'm leaving." So she left. I got in those seats. I said, "Well, have a great day." She missed a great game, but War Eagle. But man, that environment was crazy. That environment was fun. And just to see the Auburn fans traveling to Starkville, and that was a Wednesday night game. Yeah. So that's a midweek game at late on a midweek in Mississippi. It was just fun, and it was so much fun seeing Auburn clinch a share at that time of the SEC regular season title.
You, along with the Jungle, go to every sport. It's not just basketball to see this guy or football. It's volleyball, soccer, everything. Do you have like one that you would think that not a lot of people go to that you want to get more people to come to?
Women's basketball. That was a priority of mine when I was in leadership. Even though I'm not in leadership, I still have voiced that concern. Women's basketball was a tough sport when I first got here, but now they made some leadership changes, some staff changes, personnel changes, and now Coach Jay has that roster where it needs to be. We're going to make some noise this year, which I love because people are underestimating us. And historically, Auburn across all sports, when they're underestimated, that's when they do the most damage. So I'm looking forward to seeing women's basketball, and you're seeing it with volleyball now. Honestly,
that's what I was going to say. Volleyball.
Yeah, Coach Crouch has had he's rebuilt that program, and now fans are showing up. Coach Jay has done the same thing for women's basketball, and I believe the fans are going to be treated for a great season.
Absolutely, yeah. Volleyball's on a tear.
Yeah,
roll, man.
First time we've been ranked, and then we go and we beat Florida.
You don't beat Florida, you sweep them.
You
sweep them.
Get your broom.
Get your broom.
Yeah, man. I love what Coach Crouch has done for volleyball in general. Because like you said, we came in that year, tough situation, same thing. It paralleled women's basketball. They had a losing record. It was very empty, not just because of COVID, but fans just didn't know about it. He spent so much time and effort and energy into that team, and then getting them out on the concourse and meeting the students to persuade them to come to the games.
Yeah,
and now,
quite literally getting them out there.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And then now they're at the games, and like it's turned into an environment that you do not want to miss.
They're fun to go to.
Yes.
And that's, I think, part because of the success they're having, but also part because the students want to be there.
Right.
The mantra that Auburn students love Auburn is so true, and that's the perfect.
Right. And then I don't care. And so something I really want to start doing, and I hope this is a way of getting that out there. If after these basketball wins, I want us to go to Tumors. It shouldn't be just a.
It's a little cold, dog. That's a lot of rolling.
It is a lot of rolling. And I'm not saying, but especially in the heart of the conference.
Yeah, SEC play, I agree.
And then obviously, we started the year off with Baylor.
Our non-conference schedule is good. Virginia Tech at home is a tough game.
USC,
Notre Dame,
LeBron James will be waiting for
Indiana.
you. We'll be waiting for you, LeBron. We'll be waiting for you.
We might get you on the podcast.
Yeah, LeBron. We'll be waiting for you, LeBron.
Come on, LBJ.
King James will be waiting for you.
Hey,
we'll be
King
waiting
James,
for
you got to meet. You got to check with the King of Auburn
Yeah.
first.
I know that's all you.
You got to check with the King of Auburn.
That's
before
all
come
you,
out.
sir. That's all you.
Both of them.
That's all
Rock
you.
it.
That's all you.
We're ready for you. Oh, man.
But I just these big games, and besides Kentucky, let's roll it. And I believe this year it'll be too much rolling because we're going undefeated in basketball. No pressure. But I'm really looking forward to this season.
Absolutely. And
So
then
basketball's my cup of tea.
I was about to say, do you have a sport that is your favorite to watch, to go to?
100%. It's basketball.
Hoops. I agree.
I love every program on this campus equally. From Coach Hopper at soccer to Coach Graber at gymnastics. I love every program equally. Coach Lilly, Coach Reynolds, Coach Wellen, they all do a great job with their respective programs. But basketball is where it's at for me. And for me to see, obviously, men's basketball was kind of on that, on the cusp of greatness when I got into Auburn. Women's basketball was down there, but now I've seen them. And when you see a process, you enjoy it. You enjoy it. But basketball, to me, losses, when football loses, I get upset. But you don't talk to me, you don't text me, you don't call me, you don't even joke with me after Auburn basketball loses. I don't pull up with that bull
Doesn't
jump.
budge.
I don't pull up with the bull jump, as Deion Sanders say. I don't do the bull jump. Leave me alone.
Come on now.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go to sleep and wake up the next day.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I'm not sociable. Auburn basketball dictates my day. it does. So if Auburn plays Saturday at 11 a.m. and let's say they lose, the rest of the day I'm just messed up. But if they play later, like 6, okay, by 8 o'clock, it's time for me to go to bed. I go to bed.
But dinner doesn't taste good.
Yeah, dinner don't taste good. I go to church the next day. Be like, Lord, hear my prayer. What went wrong?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your experiences in the jungle. What was like your favorite experience? Like, was it like a college game day or a Kentucky? Like, give us your peak Auburn experience in the jungle. Where just take it away.
My peak Auburn experience in the jungle. I'm gonna go back to the year Will Wade and LSU came here.
Throwback. That's 2019.
Yes.
Yeah. You were here for that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Tell us what the game. I know the game. I watched the game.
Yeah.
That was the game to be at.
That was a fun game because the Saturday before that, Auburn had just beaten Kentucky. So it was kind of in the hands of Auburn to beat LSU, in the words of Bruce. I'm quoting him a lot because this is what he says a lot, controlling your own destiny.
Yep.
And they had to beat LSU to still control your own destiny. I think it would have been a 3-way tie for first place in that scenario. And the students, I think that was an 11 a.m. game. And the students were lined up. They were ready. Bruce Pro came out with bagels and all types of stuff. And when the doors opened, we ran. I didn't run because I can't run, but I trotted as fast as I could. But section... But I tried it. I can't run, but I can try it. I can try
Skirt.
Yeah, there you go. But Section H, seat 13, I've sat there since freshman year, and I'm going to be there this year. Will Wade was the coach that I just did not have a strong like for.
And we were down 20 that game. We were down like 17, 20 points.
We were down a good bit, if I can recall, in that one. And went into overtime.
Yeah.
No, avoided overtime.
Javon McCormick.
No, my bad. We went into overtime. Yes, we went into overtime with that game. And then towards the end of overtime, Javon McCormick gets the shot in, and they're reviewing it to see if Austin Wiley touched the goal. And we're like, oh my goodness,
no.
here we go.
It's always a review of Auburn.
Here we go. But they ruled it was good, and Auburn won that game, and just the thrill of that. And then I'm going to take you on the road to 2000. Dylan, this would have been your sophomore year.
22. 21, 22.
Yeah. We go to Tuscaloosa. We go to Coleman Coliseum. that is the day after Alabama loses to
Baylor.
Georgia in the state championship game.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it was.
yeah. It was the day after.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
the exact. It was the day after. So they played. Alabama football played that the day before,
The day before.
and then they lost to Georgia, and then so there's this basketball game. Campus is kind of dead, and the crowd was it was a nice, decent crowd, but you can tell there were Auburn fans there, and we were loud the entire game. And the louder we got, the louder the DJ got, and it was rough. It was really rough. But we went in there, we won. J.D. Davidson got the crowd rowdy for about 10 seconds, and then that was it of that. And then y'all might not invite me back onto this show, but I'm being my authentic
That's
self
what
right
we need.
now.
That's what Big Talk's all
Big
about.
big talk.
But that environment is like when Auburn and Alabama is in Coleman.
Yes.
That is special. Like,
Yes.
That's the first time I felt the floor shake in a college arena outside of our own. Like,
right.
it's like it could get this loud. It was like elephants running around Coleman. It was like, golly.
Yeah. The Crimson Chaos is making a surgence in the SEC. So we need to watch our backs over here in Auburn because the Crimson Chaos is right there on our tails. But I've been to a lot of SEC stadiums. When you go to see these student sessions at basketball games, and then you see ours, it's like it's totally different. And it's kind of how our arena is built. But I mean, it works out perfectly.
Amazing.
For us.
Yeah. I think we're the only SEC school to have the student section wrap around the court.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Ole Miss has it, but they don't fill it up.
No,
But
designed after ours too.
Right, and Chris Beard is there now, so that'll probably change in the future. But there's nothing like a basketball game in Neville Arena.
Nope. I got a couple more questions for you.
And I got plenty of time.
So not only are you involved with Auburn University, somehow, some way, you are involved with the high school. Tell us about that. I want to know where did this take part? How did you get inside? Who
opened those doors?
Yeah,
Right.
You're on the sidelines of the football games.
I am.
Like I know
Auburn High.
We make your blood pressure boil enough.
Yes.
But Auburn High is right behind us.
right behind you.
So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
I did not go to Auburn High School. I did not graduate from Auburn High School, but I have been adopted into the Auburn High School family.
Honorary.
Yes, honorary. Yeah, and so going back to that, so everything happens in the COVID year. But going back to that COVID year, Auburn High goes to the state championship game and plays Juggernaut Thompson in Tuscaloosa, and Auburn High's up kind of by a good margin, and they blow the game and lose it.
They blow like the fourth quarter.
Blow the game
late.
and lose it in the fourth quarter, and Auburn High loses to Thompson. So I brought that up to say this: the coach found employment elsewhere, so the Auburn High football job was open. So they make a hire, and Coach Keith Etheridge is the hire here for Auburn High School. Coach Keith Etheridge was my high school football coach at T.R. Miller my senior year. So when he came, I was just thrilled, and because Coach E means a lot to me. He was there for me a lot during my high school days, my senior year at T.R. Miller. So we had dinner a couple days after he got announced, and I've been there. I've never missed one of his games since. Well, I missed one 3 weeks ago when I went to Texas A&M. Through that, I've gotten to know their athletic director, Coach Noren, and their women's basketball coach, Coach Pritchett, their men's basketball coach, Coach Brandt, the baseball coach, Coach Simo. It's awesome. I think his name is Coach Simo. I think I said that right, Coach. I know who you are though. So yeah, I've kind of just involved into this A-High Till I Die thing. But I love it. I love it. I love high school sports. I do. Because I'm not a big pro guy. If Dylan Cardwell goes pro, I will not watch him, but I will keep up with him because I like Dylan. And that goes for the other Auburn players in the professional ranks. I keep up with them solely, but far as overall, I just
teams and conferences.
Yeah, I don't follow pro sports. High school and college are where my passion is, and yeah, so that's kind of how that happened at Auburn High School. Go Tigers!
Yeah, and then I guess last question before we hop into the fun part for me, senior year. What is what's your end game with the senior year? Like, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to improve on? Like, define your senior year, I guess. I know obviously it's in God's hands,
Right.
but what's your like outlook on your senior year? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? What's your like goals for this year?
I want to leave Auburn better than I found it. The mayor of Auburn, Mayor Ron Anders, me and him had lunch I think my freshman year here at Auburn, and just became acquainted with him. And he said, you might not remember much that I say, but just leave Auburn better than you found it. And I've always stuck with that. But I look at my tenure here at Auburn, and I'm like, this black boy from Brewton, Alabama, comes to this big city and does the unimaginable, does the unthinkable. He is the first college student to ever win a Mayor's Lamplighter Award in the city of Auburn, which is the city of Auburn's highest honor. He was the first black leader of the student section here at Auburn University, and he's a first generation college kid.
And on Fox News.
And I was on Fox News talking about Unite Auburn. It just goes to show you, when you trust God, anything is possible.
Amen.
And I've been blessed. I've been privileged to be humble, be brought up in a great upbringing with my mom, my TT, and my dad, and my stepmom. It's really, I can't wrap my head around it. And getting to know the people that I've gotten to know, like Coach Pearl, he probably has been one of my biggest supporters since I've stepped foot on this campus. And I've gotten to grow to know him. He's gotten to grow to know me. And it's just simple. Coach Pearl and I I think we're friends.
Yeah.
I think we're best friends.
Oh, two peas in a pod.
Two peas in a pod, but he gets he gets paid more than I do. I'm here for free, but I'm paying to be here. He's getting paid to be here. So there's a difference. But I love BP. BP made a joke with me one time. He said, I'm gonna check on you in your classes, make sure you're going and your grades are good. And I said, oh goodness, I need to get on the ball and make sure I'm passing these classes. Because bad grades, bad attendance mean no basketball game, and I didn't want to do that. So thanks for BP keeping me accountable. But my end goal here is to just leave all better than I found it. Trust God. I don't have the answers, but I know He does, and I just know what's on the other side is going to be great.
Amen.
It's going to be something that I don't even see coming. But if I had to say what I wanted to do after, I do want to stay in Auburn. I've told my parents this. I want to grow a family here in Auburn, because it is the loveliest village on the plains, and it is my home away from home, and hopefully work for the University of the Athletics Department. So, President Roberts,
AD
Cohen.
I don't think you'll have any.
He might be the next AD.
He already is, basically.
I don't want the AD job. I don't want that.
Too much pressure, yeah.
I don't want that. But even through all these coaches and administrative changes, like Alan Green, him and I were. I got to know him and had some great conversation with him. A.D. Cohen, he's now here. He's been for a short time. Rich McGlynn. Like, where do I start with Rich
where's
McGlynn?
Auburn without Rich McGlynn?
Oh my goodness,
Glue guy,
where am I without Rich McGlynn?
Literally.
Like, he's just been just as instrumental to my life as Bruce Pearl has. Love me some Rich now.
Yeah,
Love me
he's
some
a
Rich.
great glue guy. If y'all don't know Rich, get to know Rich.
And look, so fun fact, this is a big talk one about this. Is big. His wife, Miss Kristen, makes like some of the best pumpkin loaf, and it is so delicious. And it's October.
Oh, I did.
So I need to call it. Yeah. So
write that down.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to wrap this thing up because I know I can talk forever. By God's grace, next week on October 19th, I turn 23 years old. And thank you.
Happy early birthday.
I know my knee hurt, my back hurt, everything hurts, but I'm grateful to be here for 23 years and to do what I've already done. And when I received the Lamplighter Award, it showed me the work that I've done, but it also made me realize the work that's still left to be done. And there's still work left to be done here in Auburn, and I'm ready to give it a go.
Amen.
I have one more question, Auburn-wise. Everyone comes into college with goals and things that they want to fulfill. And in your situation, you're not only fulfilling a dream of your own, but one that your mother had as well. Do you think coming here and doing all that you have in your almost 4 years, that you fulfilled 2 dreams?
Yes. I believe I fulfilled about 4 or 5 dreams. You know, just being that first generation college student. I didn't come from much, but I always had just enough. I never had the need for anything. I was given much stuff because my people worked hard for it. So nothing has never been given to me. I've worked hard for everything I've earned. I've earned it. I'm making them proud. That's one goal. That's one dream. Being at a school that I never thought was possible of attending, that's another one. And just the amount of people that have grown to know me, just a blessing. Man, it's just, I remember last year when we went to Birmingham for the March Madness, these 2 kids came up to me with their mom. They had a hat, and Dylan had signed it, all the players had signed it, and they said, "Hey, we see you all the time on TV. Can we get your autograph?" And I'm like, me? Like, I've never given an autograph out before, so I didn't want to give it to them because, you know, that's not who I am. I didn't know how to sign an autograph. You know, y'all practice this stuff. Now y'all get paid for this stuff. I wasn't getting paid for this stuff, you know. On the Victory, hey, how are you? How are you?
Facts. He's just as important.
How are you, Author Victory? You know, I'm available. Call me. But, you know, it's just stuff like that goes to show you that people are watching what I do. And it's a blessing and a curse because you always got to be on your P's and Q's. But it's just amazing.
Pressure builds diamonds.
Yes, it does. It does. It really does, Vince. And I'm blessed. I'm honored. I'm grateful. My mom, my dad, my TT, they did a great job raising me. And I stand on their shoulders today, being here at Auburn University.
Oh, the mailbox, man.
The mailbox.
Mailbox.
Yes,
Take it to the
mailbox.
Check the mail. People checking your mail today. Check your mail.
Do people still send mail?
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
they
send
sent
it.
us this.
But they didn't mail it though.
No,
they
they
You don't know that. They mailed to us.
Stamps.
They-
You see the
yeah.
I
stamp?
see the stamp. Sealed, signed, and delivered by the Big Talk community.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Stamps and all. First question. What is the first place that you would take someone in Auburn that had never been to Auburn before?
Tumors lemonade. Tumors.
Got to.
I mean, oh my goodness! If you go to Tumors, get you a large lemonade.
Don't get you a large.
Get you a large lemonade. Don't get original. Get raspberry and peach. Get a peach raspberry lemonade, and
Writing
it
this down.
is so muy bien, just so delicious, and it make you want to slap your mama. It's so good. But I love you, mama. But it's so good. It's so good. Tumors.
I got a question for you, not in the mail.
Okay.
From Dylan's mailbox.
From my mailbox, someone, your letter got lost in my mailbox somehow. Can you talk about the hat, the straw
Oh,
hat?
yeah, we need that.
Tell us your game day outfit.
The straw hat.
Yeah, I want to know where it came from. Like, everybody has something unique to them, and you have the hat. So
All right, so funny story. That thing is so tattered and torn right now. I'm trying to stitch it back up for this season. Hopefully, it still got some good luck in it. So this thing is like, Floyd, I need you to graduate in May because it's time to give this thing up. You've done it for 4 years.
Its clock
now.
is ticking.
Exactly. So going back to freshman year, I started going to basketball games. And I just wore a regular visor. And one day I'm in the bookstore and I see the straw hat with the orange band around it with the blue AU on it. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, I've seen at the time Gus Malzahn was the head football coach. Still talk to Gus Malzahn to this day. Great people, great family. And I'm like, oh, I'm a big Gus fan. I want to wear this. And so I wore it to the first basketball game, and it was like, okay. And the second one rolled around, and then I think I went to an away game that year, and someone saw me with the straw hat and they said, we see you on TV all the time, and we love you. And it's like, oh my God. So this personality developed like, oh my goodness, I'm the straw hat dude.
Hey.
You know, Jumbotron man.
Start somewhere.
Yeah, start somewhere. And I'm like, okay, so I guess I gotta keep wearing this. So Then baseball came. I wore the baseball. Then COVID hit. So we've been ending up at the COVID year a lot on
time,
this. You know, I think COVID just opened the eyes of so many people. Just so many people. So
And then
COVID
he made
year.
straw masks.
Right. Right. So COVID came. It's only about 10 of us in the arena watching a basketball game. So I'm still wearing the straw hat. People are still seeing me on TV, and then the year came when we had Dylan Cardwell, Jabari. I almost said Jabari Walker.
bad boys.
Jabari Smith, Walker Kessler, and oh my goodness, I wear it. And I think I kind of went viral when I had it on and I pulled down my mask and I was chewing out the officials because they made a terrible call on Walker, and I was like, that's just goddamn terrible. But it just kind of, so that's where it started. Now the straw hat is tattered and torn. The bookstore doesn't sell it anymore, and I can't find another hat like that nowhere on the internet.
You can get an NIL deal.
Yeah,
So I gotta stick with that hat. But once again, on the victory, hey, give me a call. You know, maybe you can find me one.
Another mail-in question that we got was, you know, the jungle has had a lot of interesting characters. Who is your favorite character in the jungle? Because mine is a coconut bra guy. Original. He, you know, does a little thing. Like, true, he makes me want to laugh. So, like, who is someone that stood out to you in the jungle in your time here?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. When I go to basketball games, if you're not sitting beside me, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, wow.
Because like I'm locked in. I am locked in. I don't care if it's Troy University or it's the University of Kentucky. I am zoned into that game. I'm yelling at you like, why didn't you go for the dunk right there? Like, come on, Dylan. Or I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I'm locked in. Occasionally, you might catch me saying, Bruce, you don't need to run that play no more.
He's making new plays on the spot.
Right. And then, like, so, and normally when I do look up at the Jumbotron, it's for a replay, the cookie shuffle, or my friend is nudging me because I'm up there. But I know this past year, there have been a lot of great characters in the jungle. Coconut Bra is one of them.
Beloved.
Very beloved.
Gosh, I don't want to pick one. There's a guy that does the Rubik's Cube.
Oh, I snubbed him. Oh my God.
The Rubik's Cube.
Was my
He's still here though.
Yeah, the Jabari Walker. He was. He was his first time doing it. And he was wearing a freaking Charles Barkley jersey. And he did it.
Yeah, he was a wizard.
And it was at either a Kentucky or Alabama game. Bonte, like, crowd went absolutely wild.
I think it was
It's
Kentucky.
crazy.
Goodness gracious.
Crazy. So you have him.
Oh, I snubbed him. I'm sorry. Rubik's Cube guys out there, I apologize. You are important to us.
Oh my goodness. I will say this. You know, a young lady I was on the jungle staff with. Her name is Jordan. She would wear like an orange cowgirl hat with like the striped overalls that you have on. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was very interesting. So
somebody else with a hat game.
Yeah, exactly. So the jungle is a place where you can come and be accepted no matter how you look. And because at the end of the day, we're there to make some noise and wreak havoc. But yeah. That was just a couple few.
Yeah.
But that's the truth. I'm locked in.
You can tell, man.
Yeah.
You up to rest more than BP does. They should give you a tech one
Floyd
day.
sideline is just locked in.
If they ever gave me a tick, I'm not sure the repercussions of what was that. That's like when
I think we would celebrate,
like,
would we not?
when women's basketball beat Tennessee, Coach J's first year, and I kind of started this notion of, hey, let's storm the court. But I didn't want to be the first one on the court. Yeah. So I'm trying to convince somebody else to go, but nobody would move. So I had to take one for the team. And I was so nervous because on TV you could clearly see I was the first one on the court. Yeah. And I woke up the next day, I was checking my e-bill because I didn't want to make sure that fine wasn't on my e-bill.
$200K.
I was like, oh my goodness. So that was fun.
Email from the Southeastern Conference.
That was so fun.
Mr. Floyd?
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
All right, last question from the mailbox. What is the most electric Auburn sporting atmosphere that you had ever been to at Toomer's Corner?
At Toomer's? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. So So the football season, I normally don't get to Tumors because I'm in the suites during the game. So by the time I leave the suites and get to my car, I'm just worn out. The crowd has died down. I'm on my way back to my apartment, watching some football of some other sort, watching the recap. Wow. I will have to go back to the Jabari Walker year, the Jabari Walker Cardwell year. We were number 2 in the country, and we beat Kentucky, and beating Kentucky was kind of our ticket to that one spot. And we went down to Tumors, and we rolled till we couldn't roll anymore.
It was the most absurd, crazy. People jumping off.
Oh,
just like
goodness gracious.
Trust falls, more like trust jumps.
Oh yeah, that was insane.
What about the I don't mean to cut you off. What about the 2022-2021 LSU game?
I was in Baton Rouge.
Oh man, you missed the night.
I was in Baton Rouge.
That was crazy.
That's one of my favorites.
I was in Baton Rouge, but I can tell you after that game,
and for an away game too,
right?
It was like,
after that game, and I expect it to be like that way in the near future. But after that game, it was a lot of Auburn fans there inside the stadium, and the band was just playing. They were playing Nick, and we were just going crazy. Just pandemonium reigned in Tiger Stadium. After we beat LSU for the first time there since 1999, we indeed partied like it was 1999. So but yeah, I saw it. I saw all the reactions. I even saw you acting crazy out there.
It was like 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because the game started at 8 o'clock. So I remember riding back into town on Sunday, and I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is really awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was probably my favorite too.
That was definitely
when we saw that question come into the mailbox, I was like, "Oh yeah, LSU." That was it. Was just one of those ones where it stuck with you.
I jogged from like Donahue. I literally was in a full on it was running miles. I was like, I have to be there. And it was packed more than it was for like a home game.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, this is impressive.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, I forgot I was a freshman here. 2019, Auburn goes to Arlington, plays Oregon, and Bo Nix connects with Seth Williams with like 10 seconds or something left on the clock in that game. I stayed in the Hill, and I had a little watch party for that game. We beat Oregon. It was Bo Nix's first game as a quarterback, true freshman. We win. I call myself running from the Hill to Tumors. I got from the Hill to Goodwin Hall, and that was it for me. I called an Uber, and I said, you get me as close as you can. And the Uber got me to right at Sanford, and I'm like, thank you. Because I couldn't run, I couldn't trot, I couldn't do anything. I was just out.
You weren't skirting then, no.
I was gasping for breath. Oh, Jesus, oh my goodness. But, yeah, that's why I walk. I don't jog or nothing.
You're a hoot.
I'm a walker. I can walk fast, but I sure can't run. I can't run. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So many good ones.
Yeah.
Tumors, I remember trying to explain it to my dad the first time he came for a game. I was like, I really don't know what to relate it to.
Yes.
It's not like a certain thing that happens on your daily basis.
It's like, a Happy New Year's.
In a way.
It's like compared to New Year's. Like everybody's there.
what if you wrote Tumors for New Year's?
Maybe we have some good luck. Because we haven't been the same since they rolled for the Braves. I'm not going to get into that. We ain't been the same as a university since they rolled.
Since they rolled for the Braves.
We get it. We don't have a pro team.
Good job, Braves, but like
Yes.
We don't have a pro
Arlene.
team.
That was after we beat LSU.
Yeah.
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 Off
that
the
was,
record.
Unfortunately, this is completely on the record.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That was a
I just want
turning
to
point.
I just want to shout out the Auburn family. The trajectory, like ever since I've been here on campus, basketball has been the crown jewel.
Mm-hmm.
In an SEC school, unless you're Kentucky, at SEC school, the crown jewel is always football.
Mm-hmm.
Football has had its share of ups and downs. But this season, 88,043 packed every game.
Has been rocking.
We're gonna have our first night game when Ole Miss comes to town.
And that's gonna be.
It's gonna be an electric atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Auburn family, thank you guys so much for just showing up for this, this season. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the future holds, but I know this program's in the right hands.
Absolutely,
it's in the right hands. You just got to trust the
Dr.
process.
Freeze.
You know, just gotta. Whew, I'm glad I got this jacket on. Got a little chilly in here. But
I was frozen. I was frozen, my bad.
Look at us.
so yeah, and like Auburn athletics as a whole is on the right path. I mean, you look at it from golf to tennis to gymnastics to equestrian. Oh my gosh, we are all on a roll. And there's not a better time to be an Auburn Tiger than right now.
I was going to say that. Like, every program has had top 10 wins in the past 4 years. Like, every coach is doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
Every student athlete is doing what they're supposed to do. And the fans are supporting each and every fan base. Each and every athletic event. And I'm just grateful to be Auburn Tiger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Auburn
Absolutely.
Athletics has a fire lit under it right now. and
Exactly.
It's burning.
And you know, people are gonna clown on us because we lose every once in a while, but you don't see this pageantry. You don't see this passion.
Anywhere else.
Nowhere else but Auburn. And I know athletic director Cohen is trying hard to rebrand Jabba as just Auburn being Auburn. But if you really just sit and just look and you just pay attention and all the things we do, Toomer's Corner, the Eagles flight, all of that is all Auburn being Auburn. And Jesus, I think the application day opening for admission is already open, so I would apply for Auburn if I were y'all.
Give a recruiting pitch to
Recruiting pitch.
30 seconds.
30
seconds.
seconds and go.
Home.
You get in right there.
If you want to come home.
Right there. If you want to
that's all the time.
If you want to come home, Auburn is the place to be. If you
Yes.
want to have fun, Auburn is the place to be. We're not perfect. No one's perfect. But at Auburn, you can be at home.
Amen. That's good. That's
Yes,
good.
it is. Gosh, do we got to wrap it up,
Last
man? I was
question
having
is
fun.
the only place you'll find home is here on the Big Talk Podcast, which you can check out on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts with clips on our Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and more. Michael, thank you so much for joining us and being our first guest.
Oh, my goodness.
You never
on
forget
Big
your
Talk.
first.
Right. Golly.
I set the bar really low for this. Oh my goodness. Do you remember your first?
All right, no, that's all the time we have. That's all we got for Big Talk Episode 2. My name's Vince. This is Dylan. Michael, we out.
I didn't put it together, so I just said it like, oh, that's awful to say.
That's how you're going to end it.
I mean, he pitched and I swung. I mean, it was
And
just
you
like
just
that. Just boom. Just,
T-ball.
Yeah, 500 feet.
Oh,
man.
my God, that was hilarious.
Oh my goodness.